Hello guys, welcome to Study IQ. Today we are going to have a speculative discussion. We are going to discuss about the possible Joe Biden's policy in the West Asian region or the so-called Middle Eastern region according to United States lingo, right? So you can read here some of the headlines which suggest that Biden is going to face a minefield when it comes to dealing with Iran. He also faces a lot of conundrum when it comes to Israel, Iran and Arab states. How is he going to balance the West Asian region? This is going to be a huge challenge for the new Biden administration. So let's look at some of the ideas or some of the options that he has. Again, as I suggested, this would be a rather speculative discussion, not a random speculation, although, but from whatever news we have got, whatever indications we have got from the initial Biden administration, we are going to make some speculation regarding what is going to happen or what might be Biden's policy in the West Asian region. Let's begin our discussion. But before that, I am your friend Rahul Saigaonkar. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on the ID Rahul Sai 222. If you have any queries, any doubt, if you want to connect with me, you can directly message me on Instagram. Apart from that, Study IQ has a good news for you. We have a smart course for UPSC 2021, and those who are preparing for UPSC IAS 2021 can download the app and get more information. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel Study IQ. Right, let's first talk about some observation. Now, we all know that 4 years of Donald Trump administration have been rather tumultuous, and what he did in Middle East has been rather good also and bad also. Bad in terms of his Iran policy, I would say. What Trump did was he reneged on the JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which was signed by P5+1 with the Iranian counterparts, right? This agreement was discussed in 2015 and finalized, but Trump administration reneged on it in 2018, and after that he imposed strict economic sanctions. So I said this was a rather bad step, but what was the good step? In West Asia, Trump has some sort of legacy that he has left there, especially by bringing some sort of rapprochement between Israelis and the West Asian nations, especially United Arab Emirates and other Sunni Islamic nations. So that is some kind of a good thing which Trump has left as his legacy. But he has left a mess around Iran. And what we understand from Biden's presidential debates, what we understand from Biden's earlier tenure as vice president, and what we understand in general from Biden's thought process is that he is willing to re-enter the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which was signed with Iran. Basically the nuclear deal, right? But the question mark in front of Biden is how quickly is he going to do it, or what would be the terms on which he would be joining this JCPOA or re-entering this. The problem is he's going to face a big challenge because there are many friends and foes there for United States of America. There is also a Russian competition. Russia is trying to increase its sphere of influence in the West Asian region, and whatever step Biden takes, it has to be very careful step, especially in West Asia. So let's look at what are the options or what could happen in future, specifically about 3 countries. We're going to talk about Iran, we're going to talk about Israel, and we're going to talk about Saudi Arab, right? First, let's talk about Iran. Now, what Iran has done since Trump administration reneged on the JCPOA, Iran has become more aggressive against United States, right? So after the elections, Joe Biden was declared the presidential elect. Before his presidency started, we can see that there has been some kind of strange development in Iran. Iran is probably following a good cop, bad cop policy, meaning it is going for some aggressive steps also, and it is also showing indication that it is willing to work with the new Biden administration. Now, what was the bad cop thing? In the beginning of this year, in January 2021, what Iran did was, they hijacked a tanker which belonged to South Korea, right? The South Koreans demanded its release, and there was a lot of negotiation between Iran and South Korea over the frozen funds. A few $1 billion were frozen by South Korea, which were to be paid to Iran, and Iran wanted it back. So they used a bad cop policy. That means using force to get their money back from South Koreans. But on the other hand, the indication has also come from President Hassan Rouhani. Now, this is a good cop measure where President Hassan Rouhani said that it is United States and not Iran which has to make the first move here, because it was United States which reneged on that particular deal, right? He said that if Washington returns to the JCPOA, which was signed in 2015, the nuclear deal, then Iran will also fully respect the commitments which were made under the pact, right? So he said the ball right now is in US court, right? So the good cop, bad cop behavior, the bad cop shown with South Korean tanker incident, the good cop with a statement where he wants Biden administration to understand that Iran is willing to work. And very similar to what Iran has been doing, United States has also been piggybacking regarding this particular deal. Now, what in the initial indications have come from many of the officials who are the designate in Biden administration. For instance, there is Avril Haines, who is the director of national intelligence. When she was asked that will US join the JCPOA again, she said that frankly speaking, we are a long way from that. That means there is going to be some sort of arduous negotiation with Iran going into future, and US entering into that deal is far, far into future. Similar kind of comments were also made by Anthony Blinken, who's the Secretary of State designate there. He made similar kind of comments where he said, what we need to do is we need to first evaluate what actually is going to happen if Iran is going to come good on this particular pact, if Iran is going to comply with this pact. If they show good faith, then probably we can take it forward from there. And finally, even Biden says that US will not unilaterally lift sanctions on Iran. So there will be some sort of negotiations going on or some sort of keen observation which US will keep on Iran. Only then they might join the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action which was signed in 2015. So this is the news about Iran. And what is going to happen perhaps in future is that we are going to look at many more discussions about this particular part, whether US is going to join or not, because some sort of discussion, negotiation can be expected going into future. But what about Israel? Right? Now, if we talk about Israel in general, the Trump administration was quite supportive of Israel. On one side, there was Trump in United States, and on the other side, there was Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. But what is happening in Israel? Israel is also going through some political crisis. There have been multiple elections where a clear-cut majority is lacking. And now Israel is again heading for its own election very, very soon. But one can speculate that the Biden administration may not be as supportive as Trump was. But again, depending on the results of the election, we can go forward, whether it will be Benjamin Netanyahu or whether it will be Benny Gantz, whatever might happen. But one needs to understand that during his tenure as vice president before, Joe Biden had a very good relation with Israel. So he has a long and good history with Israel. So what we can speculate going forward is, with respect to Israel, there might be some friction, but that would be rather inconsequential, I would say. Nonetheless, what we can ultimately say is the relationship between United States and Israel is really going to be strong no matter what happens going into future. Again, there is a lot of connect from history here because of the Jewish history, because of the Christian and Jewish link. We can say that the relationship is going to be strong, but not as strong as what it was with the Trump administration, perhaps, right? The final discussion is with respect to Saudi Arab. Now, Saudi Arab, again, it saw a lot of support from Trump administration. In fact, what I can say here is Saudi Arab, it actually got a pass from Trump administration for a very, very long time. We all know that from the time Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has come to power, he has been consolidating his power. He has been gaining more and more power. Some of the steps taken by Saudi Arab have been really controversial, on which the US administration has not even commented. But under Biden, what we can see is that Washington and Riyadh, they may be headed for some sort of problems going into future, right? The problem areas are again the criticism over Yemen, where already many members from United States Congress have criticized Saudi Arab and its involvement in Yemen war. The humanitarian issues, the violence that we saw in Yemen war have been criticized in the Congress. Apart from that, the Qatar blockade, which has been going on for a couple of years now, that can also be criticized by the Biden administration. And finally, one of the big point of contention would be the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. The Biden administration may ask for justice for Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was killed by the Saudi administration, which is alleged, right? On that, Biden administration might ask questions from Saudi Arab, which may lead to some problems between Washington and Riyadh going into future. Again, these are the things that Biden is going to have to face in West Asia, but a very keen eye should be kept on this particular region, how Joe Biden and his administration will handle the West Asian region, because it is going to have a bearing even on India and the West Asia relations, considering India and US have been partners, especially since 2014. India has swayed towards United States, and whatever US does here in West Asia, it will have some repercussions on Indian policy also. So let's wait and watch how exactly Joe Biden will handle this West Asian region, which is very, very volatile and I would say tumultuous also. So let's wait and watch. If any development comes over this, we will bring it to you as soon as possible on Study IQ. Thank you for watching. Please stay safe during the pandemic.